Let me start with something simple but very real. Imagine you meet someone new, maybe at work, maybe online, maybe in another country. You start talking slowly, carefully, and then they ask you, "So tell me about your family." And in that moment, something interesting happens. Most students suddenly go back to basic English, very basic. This is my mother. This is my father. I have one brother. I have one sister. And then silence. The conversation dies. Yes, that's exactly what I do. I don't know what else to say. And that is the problem. Because talking about your family is not a vocabulary exercise, it is one of the most personal and powerful topics in any conversation. When people ask about your family, they are not asking for a list. They are asking about your life, your relationships, your story. And today I will teach you how to talk about your family in a real way, not like a textbook, like a human being. Now, why talking about your family is so important? After 20 years teaching English, I can tell you this with confidence. If you can talk about your family naturally, you can connect with people because family is universal. Everyone has parents, siblings, memories, stories. And when you talk about your family, you're not just speaking English, you are building connection. So it's not just about vocabulary. Yeah, vocabulary is just the beginning. Real communication is how you describe, how you explain, how you express your feelings. Let's be honest. Most students learn family vocabulary like this: mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, and then they stop. But real English is not, "This is my mother." Real English is, "My mom is a very strong person. She worked very hard all her life, and she always supported me, even when things were difficult." Do you feel the difference? One is a label, the other is a story. So let's go with the step number one, that is, go beyond names. If you want to speak like a real person, don't just name your family members, describe them, talk about their personality, their habits, their life. For example, my father is a quiet person. He doesn't talk much, but he always helps us when we need something. Now your English becomes real. Let me give you something very important. Native speakers don't always say mother and father. They say mom and dad, parents, my older brother, my younger sister. For example, I have an older brother, he lives in another city. Or my mom is very funny, she always makes jokes. This is natural English. And there are many common mistakes, and we'll call this the common mistake number one, that is speaking too basic. Many students say, "I have a brother, he is 25." This is correct, but very basic. Let's improve it. I have a brother, he's 25, and he works in a company. He's very responsible, but sometimes he's a little serious. Now it sounds like real communication. Now, let's do something more interesting. Tell a small story. For example, when I was a child, my family and I spent a lot of time together. Every Sunday, we visited my grandparents and we had lunch as a family. Those moments were very important to me. This is simple English, but very emotional. Yes, it sounds more interesting than just saying, I have grandparents. Exactly. Because you are sharing an experience, not just information. Let's go deeper. When you talk about your family, add personality. Use adjectives like kind, funny, strict, friendly, hardworking, calm, serious. For example, my mother is very kind, but she can be strict sometimes. Now your English has life. And we'll call this the common mistake number two. That is, not expressing feelings. Many students describe, but they don't express feelings. For example, my family is big. Okay, but how do you feel about that? Better say, my family is big. And I really like that because we always have someone to talk to. Now it is personal. Now, how to talk about relationships. And this is very important. Talking about family is not only about people, it is about relationships. For example, I am very close to my sister. We talk every day, and she always gives me advice. Or, I don't see my father very often, but we have a good relationship. This is real English. Now, let me give you a full example, a real life example. I want you to listen carefully. I come from a small family. I have one brother and one sister. My parents worked very hard when I was young, so I didn't see them very often, but they always supported me. Now, I try to spend time with them because I understand how important family is. This is simple but powerful. Don't try to speak perfectly, speak honestly. If your English is simple, that's okay, but make it real. Instead of saying, my father is a good man, say, my father is a good man. He always helps people, and I respect him a lot. That extra sentence changes everything. Now, common mistake number three, that is translating too much. Many students try to translate everything from their native language. That creates strange sentences. Instead, think in simple English, short ideas, clear meaning. Let's practice a little. Answer this. Who are you closest to in your family? Again, who are you closest to in your family? I think I am closest to my mother. We talk a lot, and she always helps me when I have problems. Very good. Simple, clear, natural. That is what you need. Let me leave you with this idea. Talking about your family is not about being correct, it is about being real. Because when you talk about your family, you show who you are. In the next part, we will go deeper. We will talk about how to tell emotional stories, how to talk about problems in your family, how to sound more natural, and how to keep the conversation going. Because real English is not just speaking, it is connecting. I'm excited because now I see this topic in a completely different way. Good, because this is just the beginning. Now, let's take everything to a deeper level, okay? Because in real life, when people ask about your family, the conversation does not stop after one or two sentences. It continues, it grows, it becomes more personal, more emotional, and sometimes even more complex. And this is where many students stop. They know how to start, but they don't know how to continue. So today I will show you how to keep talking about your family naturally, how to add depth to your ideas, and how to express things that are not always easy to say, but very important in real conversations. Let's imagine this situation. Someone asked you, do you have a big family? You answer, yes, I do. I have two brothers and one sister. Okay, good. But now what? Most students stop there. And that is the problem. To continue the conversation, you need to expand your answer. You can add details, examples, small stories. For example, yes, I do. I have two brothers and one sister. We are very different, but we get along well. My older brother is very serious, but my younger brother is more relaxed and funny. Now the conversation can continue. The secret: always add one more idea. This is a simple but powerful rule. Never stop at one sentence. Always add something more. If you say, my sister lives in another city, add, she moved there 2 years ago because of her job, and now she really likes it. This creates flow. Now, we also have to talk about talking about family problems because that's real English. It's more real, something more real. Family is not always perfect, and in real conversations, people talk about their problems too. But many students don't know how to express this in English. Let me show you how. For example, my family is not perfect. Sometimes we have disagreements, but we try to understand each other. Or, I don't always agree with my parents, but I respect them. This is honest and natural. I think this is difficult because it feels personal. Yes, but that is exactly why it is powerful. Real English is emotional. And when you can express emotions, people connect with you. Another very interesting topic is change. Changes in your family. Families change over time. You can say, when I was younger, we spent more time together. Now everyone is busy, so we don't see each other as often. Or, my relationship with my parents changed as I grew up. Now we understand each other better. This kind of English sounds mature and natural. And how to sound more like a native speaker because we want to sound more like a native speaker. Let me give you something very important. Native speakers often use simple but expressive phrases, like, for example, we get along well, we are very close, we don't talk much, we support each other, we spend time together. For example, my brother and I are very close. We talk almost every day. This is simple but very natural. And let's go with common mistake number four, that is overusing very. Many students say, my mother is very, very, very kind. This is not natural. Instead, you can say, my mother is really kind, or my mother is extremely kind. A simple change, but big difference. Also, we have to talk about special memories. Let's talk about something beautiful, the memories. This is where your English becomes interesting. For example, one of my favorite memories is when my family and I traveled together. We didn't have a lot of money, but we enjoyed every moment. Or, I remember a time when my father helped me during a difficult moment. I never forgot that. These sentences are powerful because they are real. Now, how to organize longer ideas? If you want to speak longer, organize your ideas like this. First, time, then situation, and then feeling. For example, when I was in school, my family supported me a lot. They helped me with my studies, and I felt very motivated. This structure helps you speak clearly. When I was in school is the time, the situation is my family supported me a lot, they helped me with my studies, and the feeling is, and I felt very motivated. Simple, right? But very powerful. Now let's go with some practice. Speak like this. I want you to imagine this question. What is something special about your family? You can answer like this. My family is special because we always support each other. Even when things are difficult, we try to stay together and help one another. This is simple English but very meaningful. And here's the truth about speaking naturally. Let me tell you something very honest. Many students wait until their English is perfect to speak about personal topics. But that is a mistake. You improve by speaking, not by waiting. Even if your English is simple, use it. Because communication is not about perfection, it is about connection. Now, I want you to think about this. Your family is one of the most important parts of your life. And when you talk about your family in English, you're not just practicing a language, You are sharing your identity, your story, your relationships, your memories. And that is what makes your English unique. I feel like now I can speak more naturally about this topic. Not perfectly, but better. And that is exactly what you need. Not perfection, progress. So now I want you to do something. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Think about your family and answer this question in English. What makes your family special to you? What makes your family special to you? Speak it, feel it. Don't be afraid of mistakes because your voice matters. And if this podcast helped you even a little, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with someone who is learning English, and write your answer in the comments. I will read it. And I want to see your story in English. Because the moment you start sharing your life, your English becomes real.